Ta-da! Facebook Live. Here we are again with the I Got My Miracle segment. I'm filling in today for Gerry. I'm Christian. We're just going to wait a few moments to introduce everything and formally introduce our guests today. And there we got our first two people. Yay! 3. So as you sign on, feel free to type in the bar. Let me know who's there. Jason. Hey, Jason. I know Jason. Jamie Hardy. Yeah. Rita. Beautiful. Jason, I know, is from Colorado. He's been here a few times. And this is what we do. We're here to help those who haven't been here before get a little insight into what Rythmia is, and for those who have, to just plug in and remember all the good times and all the fun that can happen. So Julia, hey, hello, welcome. Do you want to say where you're from as you're tuning in? I'm going to wait until we get about 50 people on the call here on the line. Then we'll get started. Jenny, Joe, you arrive in 2 weeks. Excellent. Make sure you reach out. Marzita from New Jersey, beautiful. Teddy, what was that? Louisiana. Okay, beautiful. Julie, coming from Nantucket. I haven't been to Nantucket. I've been to the other island now. It escapes my mind, but Martha's Vineyard. Yeah. Rita, hi Rita. So good, coming up. Give it another minute or another bunch of people getting on, and we'll just get started here. Mesa, Arizona, Joey. Hey Joey. Joey tunes into my segments. While we're talking, I'll just let you know that I do a segment on Fridays. The Breathwork segment. My name's Christian Minson. I'm the director of the Breathwork program here, and I sub in for Gerry when he's not available here. Rythmia is a very dynamic place, and as a result of that dynamism, things change a lot. So at the last minute, he asked if I could fill in for him, and so I willingly did. I love to get on these Facebook Lives and just relate to the crowd out there, like Gwen from Toronto. And all right, well, let's say we got, and Tim from Sacramento. Excellent, good to see you there, Tim. All right, I think this is the time to get started. So welcome officially to the Rythmia Live segment, I Got My Miracle. This is the segment normally led by Gerry Powell. He got called away and asked me to fill in at the last minute. My name is Christian Minson, the director of the Breathwork program here. This segment is where we interview a guest who's been here all week. This past week, gone through the Rythmia program and gotten their miracle, got what they came for. So we get in there and ask the tough questions and let it be a fairly unrehearsed segment here where you get to hear what people actually go through here at Rythmia. So it can alleviate some of the fears, it can give you more information for making your decision to come here, and that's what we ultimately want you to do. And if at any time you want to come here to Rythmia or you want to know more, this number above, right here, 1-866-936-9446 is the booking office, and they can answer any of your questions. That red thing in the corner, it says +1, that means it's an American number. All right, some people have gotten confused and think it's a Costa Rican number and add the +506, which is the Costa Rican area code, but then you don't get us. So with that, let me just say a few more highs. Hi, Kyle from Canada, Ottawa. Yes, I've been there many times. Donna, hello. All right, so let me introduce our guest for the week, Valeria Porto. Valeria Porto from Brazil. So welcome.
Hey. Welcome. Hello, everybody.
So Valeria's been here this past week, and let me first ask, did you get your miracle?
Yes, I did, sir.
All right.
I did get my miracle.
So that's the number one qualification for being on the show here. But so I wanted her specifically because there's a unique thing going on here. As most of you know, Rythmia is built around a segment of our week, plant medicine ceremonies. And Valeria didn't attend any of the plant medicine ceremonies, and yet she still got her miracle. So I'm very curious as to how the rest of the program supported her in getting that, and how I'm hoping that for those of you out there who are on the fence about this, and maybe because you either can't do plant medicine or you're not sure if you want to do it, that Rythmia has something to offer for you, even if you choose not to. Now, I do want to mention too, as I am the director of the breathwork part of Rythmia here, that we have started breathwork weeks where the full week is purely breathwork ceremonies. So there are no plant medicine ceremonies there. Every night is a breathwork ceremony. The next one is coming up July 22nd through 29th, and the next, I believe, is August, I think it's 16th through 23rd. So if you want a program that doesn't even have plant medicine in it, look into one of our breathwork weeks. However, Valeria here came on a week where we did have plant medicine, but opted not to take them. So let's just kind of get into it. What were the miracles that you felt like you really got here?
Yeah, I think it's important to maybe a disclaimer that when I normally do a lot of research prior to signing into any places or getting I was like the last leg of my vacation and I was just looking for something. And when Rythmia came to me, that's a very different story that I can also share if anybody's interested. I'm also on Facebook, so Valeria Porto. But the way I came here, it was more for the, retreat, resort, spiritual resort, and definitely Costa Rica, which brings tons of nature, which is something that I've always been very connected to. And I've never been to Costa Rica, so I said that's going to be a good time and a perfect place for me to end my vacation. And I was quite surprised when I got here, and I found out that the place pretty much evolves around the plant. And at the beginning I came for a traditional, very cliche corporate career, very successful, blah blah blah. And my mind was is that the time for me to just try to switch resorts? And then I said, you know what? No, I will stay, and I think I'm here for a reason. And definitely, I said, of course, my first question was are you guys going to make me take the medicine if I don't want? And everybody was extremely kind and soft and sweet and said, of course not. You don't have to do it. But of course, think about it, because it might be something that it's in there for you that you were trying to escape, to run away from. And I said, okay. So this gentleman here was very nice to me one morning that I was just coming out of breakfast. And he said, no, just every day, just put some thought on that. Just doing your meditation, doing your breath, just think about it. And day and day passed, and I didn't feel like doing the plant. But, and here comes your question, is the place itself is a miracle. I think you've been surrounded by the nature and the type of professionals that are here, and the amount of love that you feel just being here. This is healing. This is already healing. And for me, it was very important. When in one of the first, I think the first speech that Gerry gave, he asked, so what is your intention? What do you want? What do you want from this week? And even though I knew that I was not going to have the plant, at the time, I said, you know what, I'm in the middle of the nature, so just show me what is in here for me. At the end, why did I end up here?
Yeah, why did I come to this?
Yeah, why did I come to this place? And what is missing in my life? What kind of connections this experience which piece of the puzzle is this in my lifetime experience? And I have to tell, it's been phenomenal. I think the first thing for sure is, for me, has always been like not a battle, but I would say a daily exercise, not only because of my profession, but also because I know that this is important, of course, is like the compassion. And how do you look at people, and the empathy, and how do you treat people in your life? And I have to tell, and it's interesting because I'm 47. I've never had any tattoo in my life. And last year I decided that I was going to have a tattoo, and this tattoo will be compassion. And it will have to be in a place where I could look every single day, so I would never forget. I'm in a meeting, I look at my list, and I said, okay, patient. I'm talking
Show
to
everybody the tattoo.
Oh yeah, it's right here.
Compassion. Right?
Yeah.
So what is that?
It's a Celtic knot,
Uh-huh.
and I have also big connection with Irish and with Ireland. And
So basically you're saying that compassion is a big issue for you. Compassion
Yeah.
is something that you really felt like you needed or wanted more of in your life.
And you know what's interesting, Chris? And someone asked me that today. Actually, someone made this affirmation and said, "Oh, it's you need to be compassionate to yourself." And I said, to be really honest, I'm pretty good at that. Like, of course, 40-something years of therapies, spiritual work, all types of things. But this can also put you in a very delicate situation, because you can be a little bit arrogant about, you know what, how come these people don't get it? It's so clear, and okay, you go to therapy, go do this, go do that. And Reverend Mike, he said on the first day, it's so easy to tell people what to do.
So let me just add in, Reverend Michael, Michael Bernard Beckwith was here this week as our guest speaker. So that's who she's referring to.
And it's really magical. And then every single day I wake up on this magnificent place and going to the sessions and listening to people's stories. And I have never felt so much compassion in my life as I felt this week here. And as I said before, not before to you, I'm sorry. I was talking to someone this morning and I said, it's so much easier to just be compassionate to someone that is sick, hospital, that is homeless, that is a refugee. I came from Latin America. As you can see, English is not my first language. But when you need to be compassionate to somebody that is just like you, visually, okay, it's just a guy or a girl just coming to me and talking to me, and you work with these people every single day, and we have no idea what goes on in people's lives, and most important, in people's heart. And this place for me has been like magical in this regard. I think I definitely, I would never look at anybody as I looked before I came here. Mm. You really need to.
Meaning before, would you just kind of passing by or not really offer that compassion out? Or,
yes, it's just like, okay, you're in a meeting, you were in a party, you were in a gathering with your friends. You're just like enjoying, having fun or working. You gotta get some work done. And it's all like rush, rush, rush. And you're always late. You're always late. I tell people sometimes here, I say, look, I come from like a triple booked day. My agenda is just like a nightmare. And of course it's hard to just, as they say here in some of the meditation works, it's like, let's be before we do anything. You need to be aware of where you are, who are you with. And again, and now, what is these people coming from? And of course, most of the time, you're not going to know. People are not going to start opening their hearts in a meeting. Of course not, but you know. And now looking at each of these individuals here, for me, it's the only thing I wanted is just to love them, to hug them, and of course, we Latins, you're big huggers and kissers, but I just wanted like to hug them and to just say, you know what, everything's going to be fine. You have a beautiful path starting from here, and this is definitely the first one.
So tell me what really, what part of the experience here brought that out?
Definitely, well, the main one, again, I'm a very mental person, so just listening to everybody's experience.
Everybody meaning the other guests.
The other guests.
Right? Yeah.
But also when you start like walking around and oh my God, the meditation exercise, well, I was welcomed here with this gentleman here, like breathwork workshop, which is amazing, which for me definitely it was, and it's been, because I still have today to go, it's been definitely magical. It's like when he said on the first couple of minutes, this is our primary and our main and the first medicine, it's oxygen. And we don't even pay attention to it. We don't even.
She listens pretty well.
I am. I'm a good student. You know what? It's right. It was really amazing the amount of like the emotion that I could see, but also that I could feel. More important, the reactions in my body, just like breathing. And yoga. These ladies here, they are just like, they're not just yoga teachers. They are like, they are really magical. Like the words. I have to confess. So you have an idea how someone used this expression that I have never heard before. Like, okay, someone just parachute you in here, because I didn't know a lot about what was going to happen. And my first yoga class ever was Monday.
Your first yoga class ever? Have you never done yoga before? In 47 years old?
In 47 years, I have never done yoga. And of course, I was all like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do with my hair, my leg, my arm? But then, like, they're so gentle. And they're just like, just breathe, and connect with the nature. And I'm sure for you guys, I'm sure most of you are yoga practitioners, and you know what is this about, but it's just like the whole connection with earth, with like you were so connected with the earth, with the sun, with the universe. And those words were just like, the words themselves were like healers for me. The words, I was like, oh my God, I can really feel. So every day after yoga, my body felt I need to just walk like barefoot, just to feel. And one thing that I've always made fun of people, I hugged a tree for the first time. And I said, oh my God, okay, those tree huggers, crazy people, and how magical is that? And the energy that I felt.
Urban professional hugs a tree.
Yes. And that was, I think it was the second miracle, because I came from a lineage of like very spiritual women in my life. My mom, I had like major fights with her my entire teenage years because I used to call her like a witch. And I said, you don't do that. I'm here, I'm a psychologist major, I'm executive, and...
Now why do we call her a witch?
This is so nature, like talking to the nature, just like, okay, you were feeling something. The nature can heal you. Just breathe. Just like step on like grass. Just lay down. Just listen to the birds. And of course, the plants. My mom has never introduced me to ayahuasca or Santo Daime, which is big in Brazil. But I've always had my house with like shamans, with rituals, with smudge, that you said? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when I was really, really young, I used to love that. And all of a sudden, that scares me. That really scares me. And when I've heard here, and today actually Gerry mentioned that someone had mentioned before, just go back to your early years. And I used to love the nature, and the nature used to be I'm a single child, so nature used to be like my best friend. I play along, I jump on trees, and all of a sudden, this all seems to be so awkward to me. I said, no, I don't do that. Like, in sense, or this is like, oh, I'm not going to do that. And my mom is very, very spiritual. And when I was a kid, well, I used to have my own mediunity as well, but of course, this got cut off with the fear and with the rationalization of everything.
What got cut off? What are you saying?
I used to listen to other people, the deceased people. I used to talk to people that are already dead. But of course, one day I said, because that's what we learn, said, that's crazy. You're a crazy person. You don't listen to people that are no longer here. You don't see your grandmother. It's just don't. And I just cut this string, and I said, I'm not going to do this in my life. And I had to do this whole like, okay, you guys, I don't want to see you. I have all my respect, but I don't want this anymore.
This is your life growing up, the shift you made to disconnect yourself.
Exactly. And here, I think the big miracle was that. And I said, this is who I am. This is who I am. Look how great I feel here. Like just waking up, the birds and the water and the music and the nature. Like we're in the jungle somehow. So this is, we cannot get more nature than this. So for me, this is a big thing. I think this is a place for me to go back.
Really, to accept your roots.
To accept my roots. And I think this is who I am. And regardless, if I'm going to go back to my life tomorrow. But now I know that this is me. The real me is this one here. It's a compassion, joy, profound connection with nature. And so I think those are
that's beautiful.
Pretty big miracles. Like, to give you an example, just one example, like Chris mentioned that I didn't attend any of the ceremonies. I attended the last one. I didn't take the plan, but I wanted to be there, especially because it could be like
Yeah, so let me interrupt here.
Oh, yeah.
So we have 4 plant medicine ceremonies here. And on the last night is the Colombian tradition, where it's an all-night ceremony. You start about 7:30 at night and go till the sun comes up the next day. And of course, all week we're checking in and having you check in with yourself too, or you really not want to go this day and this day, but then you chose whatever inside you chose to go. You chose not to take the medicine, but you went ahead and participated in the ceremony, which is totally legit, where we allow that. There's nothing, in fact, we encourage that, whether you're taking medicine or not, to be part of the experience. So,
it's a beautiful ceremony. And I was mentioning that because we were talking about nature, and I fell asleep. I did miss most of the ceremony itself, but then during the healing, I woke up and I said, oh my God, did I miss? Am I going to do any healing on me?
So let me just interrupt again too. So for those who don't, that's all right. For those who don't know what's going on, the ceremony you generally take the medicine, and then people go in their quiet space and then have the experience. And this, because you didn't take the medicine, where everybody's got their own little bed, and so it's very comfortable and very easy to go to sleep, especially if you're not on medicine. So you said for the majority of it, you just slept in the comfort of that environment, and then woke up. As now in this particular ceremony, they have healings, group healings. Everybody will come up, and the shamans will come around with wairas, these big whiskey, like corn husk type things that they beat you with and spray you with, and chant over you and all that, really, in the authentic Colombian tradition. And so this is what you woke up to
and
this.
It's absolutely beautiful, and I've seen other ceremonies in Brazil, for example, but this is and when I woke up and I was waiting for my time to be on the place, to be healed and to receive all of that energy and the nature and the blessings from the shamans, I realized that the sun was rising. And I'm a big, I love the sun. Sun for me has always been a major source of energy. And so it all happened to me like the sun rising, the birds were already singing. And I said, this cannot be more magical than this. And it's so beautiful. And then when I was they were about to finish my group, because they do this in groups, in smaller groups, to make sure everybody gets their individual attention. And then the shaman came close to me, and I just look at his eyes brown, 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 so brown. Brown is what? Earth. And then here comes the next one, which is the most beautiful blue eyes I've ever seen in my life. And immediately I said, oh my God, this is the sky, this is the sea, this is the nature. That's where I came here for. You were talking to me, and that's the message that I'm getting from this. And definitely I cannot run away from this anymore. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It was so beautiful, the whole experience. And the place,
So I want to ask you some here now, because your relationship with nature and just being in nature was a major part of you receiving your miracle. And I think even understanding your connection to nature and your roots in nature was that. Now nature is all around, Rythmia doesn't have any, what would you say? We're not the only place in town where you can experience nature. So what about us, helped that come out or enhanced your relationship with nature?
I think it's very important, because of course, you have these people here, they are healers. If they're doing through the plant, if they're doing through meditation, if they're doing through yoga, through breath work, they are healers. So the energy of this place, it's almost like you were in this bubble of love, and nothing can get any better than this. It's like you walk around, and okay, I'm talking about the staff, hardcore staff, but you look at the people that work in the restaurant, the reception, they call you by your name. They always have a smile in their faces. They smile with their eyes. So you can see, again, I'm human resources. I can see they love working here. They really love. They are so connected.
Yeah, I bet you can tell as a human resource. You can tell when somebody doesn't like.
Oh my God! And they are so connected with the purpose. And since I was not doing ceremony, I spent a lot of time with them. Pretty much after 5:30, when everybody was going to the ceremony, the hotel was mine, and I was talking to them. And the amount of crowd they have, and of course, and this is energy. And this energy, you can pretty much see love. It sounds crazy, but it's true.
It sounds like somebody who left off their corporate identity for a week and got back to their intuitive nature and was able to.
It is magical. I would definitely. I have to say that, and that's the conversation I was having to some people, because of course for some people but how come you're not doing it? I said, yeah, but I'm doing everything else, and there's a lot. There's a lot. The workshops are beautiful. Those are magical words that you're just feed for your soul, food for your soul. And you have the meditation, the breath work, the food is amazing. I've never eaten that healthy in my life. So it's a lot. It's pretty much it's a gift to yourself. It was a gift to me. I knew that it was going to be nice. I was signing up for like a natural retreat. I'm going to do a lot of yoga, meditation, healthy food. But no, it's much more than that. It's much more than that. I think, of course, and I have huge amount of land and for the tradition, and I definitely think this is major. I could see here what was happening with people.
Now, let me ask you. You say you have respect for the plant and the tradition, and do you think that you might come back and try the plant medicine sometime? What is your thoughts on it after having?
I'm not that perfect. I would never say never. Most likely, I think it could be a possibility. I think if I will come back, I will come back for sure. That's for sure. I think the plant for sure. What people share, it's so amazing that, and sometimes you feel left off. Okay, that's all they talk about. And it's hard also for them to see that I did get my miracle through this whole experience, but
well, that's what I find is extra miraculous. You know, that having worked here, I've seen this environment is just a space for transformation to happen. And what I've seen, you know, I come from a very spiritual background. My spiritual teacher would talk about setting up your own meditation space where all you do is meditate, because whatever activity you do in that space, it starts to impregnate that space with the vibration of that activity. So here at Rythmia, all that happens here week after week after week after week is transformational experiences. And what's great is that each person that comes here embeds their transformed energy into this place even deeper. So it just keeps getting stronger and stronger with each new group that comes. And
that's exactly what it is. I think you gotta come, and you gotta come with your open heart and trust that you have the best people in the world to go through this journey with you. And the environment itself, it's all like a perfect combination that it transforms you. It really touches your heart, and it heals everything that you need to be healed, or things that are preventing you from just moving on in your life. I think it's just like the perfect setting. So it's the food, it's the place, it's the staff, it's the healers. Jeff, with his great story of like transformation, his wife that is the sweetest person that I've ever talked to, and so it's just like this perfect conjunction of the stars. And the stars here, like you just lay by the pool and you just look up and said, oh my God, thank God that I'm here. It's just like this nature hardcore. Yesterday I talked to someone, I said, like, this is nature hardcore. We went to the beach because I really needed like to just get into the sea, and I said, oh my God, this is nature like hardcore. And you cannot, it's so beautiful.
The beaches here are probably one of the best natural features of this place.
God.
And so I almost think it should be part of our program, though. There's time at the end of the week for people to individually go, and I recommend that, because it's the water's warm, the sand is clean, of course the sun.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you. So you came from a corporate environment. You said you're triple booked at work, and so there's a lot of demands on you. And now you come here and you totally unplug and you really get a sense of who you are at a deeper level, connecting with that nature, which isn't really that prevalent in that work world. So how do you feel? How do you feel about how you're going to merge yourself back into your life?
Again, I live in a big city, and so definitely I would need to. Again, it's going to be a daily exercise. but I need to, and that's something I think that Rythmia taught me. It's like you need to listen to your heart. You need to listen. So if Valeria, if you feel like you need some time with the nature, just like go to a park, just sit there like for 10 minutes, just breathe. Like definitely, yoga is something that I kind of like it. I like it, and this is something that I definitely would try to bring into my life. I was already like meditating, but now I have a much better like understanding of like how powerful it is. It's not just okay, I need to breathe, I need to calm down before I go to bed. No, the amount of like energy that just flows in your body. So I need to make space in my life for that. And I'm definitely committed to myself that I will do that.
Well, that sounds like a lot in alignment with the 14-day reentry plan that we kind of offered in. So we don't just give you the experience here and then say bye-bye, good luck. But there is one of the classes at the end of the week talks about how to only a little bit of adjustment period that goes on, and but we highly recommend keeping up with some kind of practice, whether that's yoga or meditation or just putting your feet in the grass in the park. So continuing to eat healthy and staying on top of your diet, and then having some kind of reminder of your miracle, your soul experience here. Here we suggest taking a little picture of your baby picture, and there's a reason for that. And if you come here, you'll understand that. But whatever it is to remind you of the transformation that's taken place. So,
it's beautiful. It's all like it's a full package. I have to say, it is. It's really amazing the work that you guys do here, and how, oh my God, how important it's to like at least 70 people this week. I have to tell you, it's like so I'm pretty sure, and we all know. I think people here we are very well aware that like okay, nobody out there changed. We did. Nothing changed. My work's the same. My job is the same. My agenda will remain triple booked. But I think the way I'm going to start looking at people has changed forever, and to take care of myself and to really take this to my life. And how do you really embrace this to become like a better, healthier, happier person? Because again, we are the ones that we are accountable, responsible for our own happiness. So we got to do it. Yeah,
very well put.
That's it.
Let me, at this stage, where are we at? I want to check in with some of the comments and just see if anybody's asking questions or what we got. So excuse me while I put on my eyes and just see from there. Everybody's saying hi in the beginning. And still a bunch of highs. Good morning, beautiful people. Aloha from Hawaii. And okay, so love you guys. Vladka, she was just here. And are you still here? Or are you on the airplane now? Leaving today or tomorrow for sure. Heather, we'll be there soon. Sergey, come get here. Marbella, hi there. We are nature, Lonnie. Yeah, that's pretty much the theme here. That's you came and recognized that your connection here, because it's essentially where we came from. And we were talking a little bit earlier about that whole shaman tradition, that that I think one of the things that you said before we got on the Facebook Live was how that shaman tradition is steeped in that nature. And so even though you didn't take the medicine itself, you really participated in the tradition. You participated in the shamanistic experience. And that's part of what I was hoping to convey here in this Facebook Live, is that we talk about shamans and things, and it often just gets lumped into this this idea that a shaman is somebody who does plant medicine, who does ayahuasca, and that shamanism is just so much broader. You know, it really is the experience of our relationship to our natural selves, which is very much rooted in these traditions, in the natural environment, the earth, the sky, the water, and so it's really a beautiful tradition. We are nature, as Lonnie just said. Hey, Julie Mackert joined, a friend of mine from long, long ago. Anita, hello from Hawaii, a very natural and beautiful place. Look forward to having their experience at Rythmia. Beautiful, with medicine. Yeah, right on. Oh, hey, what happened? 5 from Maui. What island are you on? Okay, that's Candice. All right, one of our people who fills in for Gerry here too when I'm not. She's here. Anita Dursurd, spot on. And whoops, Andy, Tony, John. All right, be there tomorrow. Make sure you on. Christine joined. Hello from St. Louis, Christine. She's here recently. All right, so you got any questions or anything like that? While you, if you want, type them in. I do want to say just a reminder that, so you know, this segment really illustrated how the Rythmia experience can still deliver a miracle even if you don't do the plant medicine. Of course, we highly encourage you to come and do the plant medicine. It's just a whole nother dimension to the experience. But if you don't do the plant medicine and you don't want to sit around and hang out with the kitchen staff from 5:30 on, then consider coming to one of our breathwork weeks, which is a week-long experience of Rythmia. Yeah, that might be the time to come back for you. And then what that will give you is, in replacement of those 4 plant ceremonies that we have throughout the week, we fill those with breathwork ceremonies. And then, of course, in our normal 3 breath ceremonies anyway, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then we go into Monday through Thursday with plant medicine. But in the breathwork week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are normal. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are breath ceremonies as well, a little bit more intensive, and working with the whole Rythmia trajectory of who have I become, merge me with my soul at all costs, and heal my heart. You know, and then with an element of forgiveness in there. Let's see, is there... Love her miracle without plant medicine. Yeah, it makes me think twice about coming. Plant medicine is scary for some of us. What a beautiful story she has. Thanks for sharing. Beautiful, Lisa. And that's exactly what we wanted to convey here, is that, one of the things we do say, though, is that the medicine isn't scary. You are. And what we mean by that is whatever comes out through the plant medicine experience is coming from within you. It's not like adding demons to your life or bringing in scary elements. It's actually helping you to purge out the darkness that most of us have somehow suppressed or repressed in our experience of life.
And I think, Lisa, and I don't think you should be scared. I think if, as I've mentioned before, these people, they're just like big love balls walking around this place. So whatever, it's
big love ball.
Yeah, big love, big hearts like walking around. It's so much love that you're gonna feel here. You're gonna feel so much like compassion and love and empathy, and they always have like a beautiful word or a smile or just like a sweet eye look to you and to who you are. And as Chris said, and they mentioned that several times, and whatever comes, it's coming because it needs to go. It's be healed and it will go. So there was no particular reason why they didn't, but I was not scary. I was not like, I don't have any prejudice about the plant. I come from Brazil, which this is pretty present in our culture. But for some reason, I think for the first time, I've decided to to listen to my intuition and not to my mind. My mind was like, okay, you have to do that. You are here, you're in the perfect place, the perfect setting, controlled environment, they know what they're doing. I always be a little bit like conscious about probably like going through that without what they have here. Again, I've mentioned before, I'm a psychologist, so I've always been, and I have friends who have taken the medicine, and I've always been afraid of like, oh my God, but there's a lot, and all of this lot, you're gonna have people here to hold you, to help you to put your thoughts together, to really help you through the healing process. It's not that you're gonna experience all of that and then, okay, bye, I'm gonna go to my home. No, you are here. They are here with you. The shamans, as Chris said, and I've mentioned this to him like earlier, is like they have a direct connection. They have a direct line with like the nature. These people are like very, very special. So, but if it's your decision and to not do, I'm just here to prove that your miracle can happen, and it will happen, I'm sure about that.
And I think part of that miracle is actually trusting your intuition, that you know this is, we poke you from all angles to make sure that you're not hiding from something, and that, you know, that your decision not to do the medicine isn't because out of fear, but out of a truly a knowing. And I think that's, you know, what you revealed here is that you actually, your mind actually said, do this. I mean, if you're going to do it, you're here, you spent the money, you did all this, and yet your intuition was telling you it's not right for me in this moment. So let's experience this program from a different angle. And maybe this is exactly why. Maybe this whole thing to show that this thing works whether the medicine is part of the program or not. You can get your miracle here at Rythmia.
And just to add, like the last thing, it for me was such like also a miracle or a blessing, because after the ceremony the last one that I participated on, like when the shamans, they finished the healing, the shaman came back to me and he just hugged me really, really tight. And I look at his eyes, and of course he didn't say anything, but in that moment I knew I was doing the right thing. It was almost like an affirmation that, okay, I did what I was supposed to do. And it's just like, I could talk here for like hours. So it's but you guys have to come, and it's hard to explain. It's really hard.
All right, let's see. Sean, laugh out loud. All right. Lisa, it's scary for me because I'm a control freak. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Well, join the crowd here. I think most of us who work here are control freaks, and then most of the guests who come are control freaks when they arrive, and they're much better at letting go of that control by the time they doers.
The breath work, yeah.
Where?
How long does it take, the breathwork ceremony?
How long does the breathwork ceremonies take? Yeah. So okay, yeah. How long are the breathwork ceremonies then? Yeah, the normal ceremonies, Friday through Sunday, are an hour and a half long, so it's a much shorter time. The ones that we do when we replace the plant medicine with breath ceremonies are 2.5 hours. We add a little bit of extra time. We have a little bit of a guided visualization around the intentions of Rythmia again. Show me who I've become, merge me with my soul, heal my heart, and forgiveness. So each night, the guided visualization goes along with, as you're doing the breath work, and it extends the time of the ceremony and gives you a much deeper, more intensive experience around those elements of the program. So hopefully that answers that. Now I do want, this came to me while we were talking. I was part of this book. I authored a chapter in this book, and my chapter is really about making decisions where you come to a crossroads, and it's like important decisions in your life. And I offer a technique where we use the breath to help make that decision. So I want to put it out there to anybody out there who's listened to this now and is like, well, you know, I'm still not sure about plant medicine or not, but should I come to Rythmia or not? Should I come to Rythmia or not? Or, you know, I'm coming to Rythmia, should I do plant medicine or not? Should I do plant medicine or not? I invite you to friend me on Facebook, R. Christian Minson on my Facebook page. Friend request me and send me a message that says, please send me your chapter, and I will send you the e-version of my chapter here, so that you can use this technique to help you actually. What it essentially does is help you tap in with your own intuitive insight, which is pretty much what you were talking about tapping into during this week. So, so I want to offer that to you in hopes that, you know, your intuition will tell you to come visit us. But anyway, it's a great way to help you start getting in tune with what your intuitive, your core resonance is for any important decision that you have in your life. So to do that, again, friend me, R. Christian Minson on Facebook, and then with a message that says, send me your chapter on making decisions, please. All right, so that's my offering to you. Any other questions there? Doesn't look like it. We're getting close to the top of the hour, so this is a perfect time. So Valeria, it's been such a pleasure to have you on here. I think you've been a wonderful guest all week, and really just charming to be able to interview you and spend some extra time.
Yeah.
So
thank you. It's well, that's the only thing I can say. Like, thank you. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you for Gerry, the girls. The girls, they're magical, those yoga teachers. They're not yoga teachers. This is just like a role they play. They're like much more than that. And it's been fabulous. I'm definitely going home like recharged and ready to speak out the words. I think there are more people out there that need to experience that.
Well, as soon as we sign off, I'm getting one of those Latina hugs. So, over now from Rythmia Live, Guanacaste, Costa Rica. We thank you, Andy, and we'll see you next week. Over and out.
Bye.